nerderotic.com.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. Hopefully I don't sound like a robot right now. I checked it out beforehand, and it sounded fine, so I'm hoping it sounds fine right now. Welcome, everyone. I am live in North County, San Diego. I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and my name is Gary Beekler. So we have a lot to talk about today. I was not expecting to discuss cuties again, but I don't know why I'm so naive not to think that the mainstream media wouldn't do as predicted. We discussed this on the Friday Night Tights with both Jeremys from Geeks and Gamers and The Quartering, and we all predicted that this would be the narrative, that it was a right-wing movement, conspiracy. I don't even want to say these words so early in the live stream because it'll probably get it demonetized, but whatever. I don't care at this point. Now, it's predictable, and I'm almost grateful for this because the mask is off. We're seeing the true colors, and absolutely everything with anyone in entertainment or mainstream media now has to fall on political lines. There's no nuance left in the world. And if you're making common sense a partisan issue, with Gina Carano, we've seen that. All she's been doing is preaching common sense. People are calling her the worst things. And if you're coming out in defense of this, I don't want to say it this early in the live stream, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Do you want to make that a partisan issue? Is that really where you want to be? Really? Because so be it. So be it. I know what side I'll be on then. I'll be on the side of common sense, and we'll get into the details. I am not for government regulation. I am for adults knowing what lines not to cross and just not crossing them. It's not many. Really isn't many. But if you don't understand the nuance of this situation, New Yorker, Scotty Mendelson at Forbes, and I'm talking to you too, YouTube, Mama Susan, you don't want to be on the other side of this argument. You really don't. It's not a place you want to be, but and I'm not saying YouTube's there. We'll see how the videos do that are on this subject right now, because I'll tell you, my first Cuties video, when I did it, the first 2 hours, it was my best performing video ever on this channel, and it got shut down. Now, it's controversial subject matter, and I can understand why some advertisers wouldn't want to advertise on it. So be it. But Mama Susan says it doesn't affect your video when it gets demonetized. I can show you actual analytics that say different. And I'm sure every single YouTuber on this platform can say the same. So again, you don't want to be on the other side of this. I don't care if it's monetized or not. The word has to get out there. I think we can all agree on this one single subject. And if we can't, then that is the death of our civilization. Our civilization will start falling apart if we can't protect our kids. Period. And the New Yorker goes, we're going to go over it too. And I was going to make a video, but I blew off yesterday's Nooner to make a video. So I decided to do a Nooner now, and I may make a video on it later. It'll be probably a little bit of repeated information, but so be it. First, let's welcome everybody. We're also going to talk about the abysmal failure that was Star Trek Day, which was hilariously predictable, and we'll go over some of the numbers there. Actually, Star Wars took precedence yesterday, but I got to say the last 48 hours have been pretty good for the hashtag the Fandom Menace. Certainly has. Now, it's nice to get validation, but we've known we were right all along. Again, it's just common sense. All you have to do is simply observe what they have given us as far as entertainment is concerned, and it was pretty obvious. And it doesn't matter when you get here, as long as you get here, it's fine. And no, there's no Kool-Aid. No, there's no echo chamber. People who use that hashtag, individuals who use that hashtag, we vehemently disagree on things constantly. So it's been a good 48 hours for that hashtag, I got to say. And Demon Synthwave put out a couple of good tweets I'm going to show later. We're also going to, what else were we going to discuss? Oh, yes. Hollywood Spawn. We're going to discuss that one again. I didn't go into it in detail last live stream. Going to go into it in a little bit of detail here as far as Greg Rucka's kid and John Malkovich's kid. Now, I'm not going to show, although the kids are adults, I'm not going to show their pictures or anything. We're just going to discuss them because, listen, I was a bad kid too. But at least, well, I can't say none of my crimes were justified. And guess what? I paid for it. So we're going to go a little bit later. We're going to discuss what they have to look forward to if they indeed get locked up. We'll go into detail what they have to look forward to. And you know what? They should go. And hopefully they will learn the lesson that I did. Because maybe I think the percentage of people who actually turn around in the prison system is somewhere right around the same percentage of people who actually get sober the first couple of times around through AA, which is under 10%. It's a very small percentage. And that is a whole argument for another day, but I will tell them all what they have to look forward to, and it's not fun. It isn't. So let's greet who's here. We have Eric K., who is just the best wrench out there. Thanks, buddy. He's always here, dealing with my wacky schedule. And listen, the Nerd Erotic Nooner is going to be at wacky times because until I get settled. I was up till 3 a.m, crucifying action figures last night. A lot of progress has been made on the new office. It will look a little different. Okay. So be ready for that. It's bigger. It's bigger. The room I was in before, this fake one right now, is a tiny room. This one is like a normal sized room. I've got to light it and do all kinds of fun things with it, but we'll get to that. Eric K., thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. We have Mr. Insanity. Hail, brother. Hope all is well with you. He is a healthcare worker, and he has been going through it. Scott H., welcome. Another Gen 42. Dan Kilroy. Joseph Nash. Nicholas Horton. What is up, Nick? How you doing? Alvarane Imakara. Alvarena Imakara. You got to tell me how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I'm jacking that up. Janet from another planet. Oh, damn it. Janet, I love you. Visigoth X, Jed Tesd Toad, and Scalvgo, Era Prime, Yellow Gut, the Anime Slayer, Mary Ashmead is here with her wrench, Cosmic Squirrel, Samuel Lowry, Ham Dinger, and the Packin', the Invisible Man. Well, I can see you right there. And Revolting Kidda. You're not revolting to me. And D just says F communists. I agree with that. Father Christopher Miller, bless you, my friend. Bless you. Thank you for being here and taking care of all of our sins for us. It's good to have kind of a portable father in your chat once in a while. He certainly should charge for the amount of sinning we do just on Friday Night Tights alone. By the way, our guest tomorrow, holy crap. It's an EFAP FNT crossover. We have Mahler and Rags. Mahler and Rags together on Friday Night Tights. Should be a hoot. Right. So let's get right to the New Yorker, because this is, every time I say this is the dumbest, most evil article I have read from the mainstream media, there is always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. By the way, this episode produced by Lady Gravemaster, who has just been picking up the job like no other. Because she's been training. She's never been a producer, and, producing Nerdrotic is like herding cats. So she is doing a great job, and I appreciate her. And let's get to, did I get rid of the article? How did I get rid of the article? What the hell was I doing? Hang on. Give me just a second. All you have to do is search New Yorker Cuties right wing. There we go. Was this one? No, that's the wrong one. Was it this one? Yes, there we go. Cuties, the extraordinary Netflix debut that became the target of a campaign. Because we all got our talking points in the mail, the snail mail. It was sent to us by whoever, and we all decided to, all at once, go after a movie, this innocent little movie. I am aware of the context. I have seen the clips on Twitter, which I will not show here. And the only question I will ask you is, of course, the filmmaker says that the message is that they are calling out the exploitation of younglings, the contextualization of Padawans, because I have to use code speak here on YouTube. I ask you this. What happens when you mute the movie? Does that message come across? Because I'm guessing there's a lot of people who go to a lot of websites who mute stuff and watch the whole damn thing. So I'm not sure your message is getting across visually. And when you are still contextualizing Padawans, even though you're calling it out, how many times do we have to say this? You're still doing it. No thanks. No thanks. Okay, so I don't know who Richard Brody is. I will try to stay on his article. I don't know him as a person, but I'm going to ask you again, is this where you want to be? I understand there is nuance with art, and there are exceptions like 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about 11-year-olds. All right. So, and you don't have to be a parent. A lot of us, I'm a parent. Okay. That doesn't give us any special perspective on it. Everybody has nieces and nephews. You all generally, you have relatives. You all know what kids are like. So I'm not going to pull this like, well, I'm a father, so I know more than, you know what? There's a lot of shitty parents out there. So, but it's one of our biggest fears as parents, because anywhere where kids go, they will come. Anywhere where kids go. Now, this is probably a video for BitChute someday. There's certain entities out there that have been caught and prosecuted and all kinds. And there's certain entities that haven't, that have been protected. And that, hopefully that's a conversation we have. At least we're having this conversation. It's a difficult one. It's an ugly one. And Hollywood just wants to keep bringing it up. Hollywood, of all places, wants to study this issue because they are our moral overlords. The same Hollywood that's been butt-chugging coke off of hookers' butts on yachts. That Hollywood. The Hollywood we will discuss later. You know what? You were really good at entertaining us. And I'm finding it very, very difficult to enjoy anything you do, because as more and more of the movie stars, which they have every right to do, go out and speak their mind on Twitter, I'm having a hard time separating that. Mostly I can. I don't really mind. You can have your views, have them all day, as long as you're not demonizing others. There are the vast majority of people go out and they have their views and they don't have it in their heart to demonize others. Now, everybody thinks they're right. That's fine. I'm guilty of that too. I mean, I don't think I'm right about everything. And that's why I'm not partisan, because I don't like having my scorecard filled out for me. I will do it myself. Thank you very much. On Wednesday, Netflix releases Cuties, the remarkable first feature from French filmmaker Mamadou Ducouré. I am sorry if I mispronounced your name. It was not intended to be a hate crime. Unfortunately, the platform's misleading advertising has given rise to a scurrilous, campaign against the film itself. The promotional image showing kids dancing in provocative ways, matched with an inaccurate description, has been taken to suggest that the film celebrates bad things. In fact, the subject of the film is exactly the opposite. Okay, again, does that subject come across if you mute it? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the visuals here. I don't really give a damn what the context is. Don't give a damn. Never give a damn. Will not give a damn. There are lines we do not cross. Period. You know what? There are things in my life I could put the film that you couldn't. You just couldn't. And these are things maybe best discussed in a documentary, without kids involved. You can still get your message across without having kids in it at all, honestly. And I don't know who finds this kind of thing entertaining. Now, I'll be the first one to admit, I am not the biggest art house movie fan on the planet. All right. I think people sitting around tables being sad or constantly showing dysfunctional families or bad fathers, I think it's tired. It's a trope. It's boring. Give me wizards. Give me spaceships. Give me superheroes. Give me a drug deal gone bad. That's what I like. All right. It dramatizes the dysfunctions of growing up female. So they're trying to make this a feminist thing, and he later tries to make it a racial thing. That's right. I doubt that the the New Yorker is calling out scandal mongers, ladies and gentlemen. I was just overwhelmed with hypocrisy. I'm sorry. The New Yorker, the mainstream media, is calling somebody scandal mongers. Listen, I'm so happy we have this platform, and YouTube gets criticized left and right and does some crazy shit. It's a big corporation, but I'm grateful that the Fandom Menace hashtag is used by a bunch of individuals. I'm glad you are here because you have kept me sane over the last 6 to 7 months. Again, I am grateful that the mask has come off and we are seeing some true colors coming out, and there will be consequences for Hollywood. I'm working on a video, and there will be some big consequences. We're already seeing it happen in sports. I've said it over and over again. Doesn't make it any less true. Sports is eating crap right now, especially baseball, which wasn't doing great in the first place. Basketball, as big as it was, not doing so well. And the same is going to happen. Disney is in a lot of trouble right now, which we'll get to. You know what? The worst thing for Hollywood is having a bunch of actors and creatives, adult pretenders, sitting around with nothing to do. So they're going to go out and get interviewed and maybe talk a little bit too much. And, I kind of thought this was going to happen, that Hollywood might be unintentionally entertaining, but this goes beyond that. This is crossing the line. This is not entertaining at all. So we're scandal mongers. That's a new one. Who include some well-known figures on the far right. I mean, it's always the far right. It's always the far right. By the way, if you're a centrist, you're far right these days. And listen, there are no centrists in an election year. There really isn't. You can try. You can try. I'm doing my very best, but if you want to make this a partisan issue, I'm going to say this over and over again, that is not the place you want to be. They haven't actually seen Cuties, but some elements of the film that weren't presented in the advertising would surely prove irritating to them. It's the story of a girl's outrage at the defiance of a patriarchal order. Thank you for your keyword right there. It's the patriarchy. It's the patriarchy. So, it's too bad there's certain things I can't get into on this platform. And again, we're going to talk about it on the Exozone when we're off platform. I'm going to skip. He describes the movie here, right? Okay. There's clips on Twitter. Again, I'm not going to show, but you can go find them. Watch them at your own peril. How the shots are set up. They have adults leering at little Padawans. Leering. So again, I don't care what the context is. I don't care. Now, I don't know if Brody is a parent. I kind of hope not. So they go over the movie here. The girl is Amy Diop Fathia Youssef, an 11-year-old girl of Senegalese descent who lives in France with her observant Muslim mother. At the film's beginning, she moves with her mother, Miriam, and her two younger brothers into a new apartment in a Parisian housing project. The apartment has a secret, a room kept locked that Amy is ordered to avoid. Amy, short for Emiata, and pronounced with a short A, like the French word Amy, is a dutiful child kept in line lovingly but sternly by Miriam and by Auntie, her great aunt. So she's got strict parents. Nothing new there. She acts out. It's a coming of age thing, of course, like all of these films are. And she wants to be more adult, and she goes to this dance group and doesn't realize she's doing anything wrong. I get it. But we'll go to the last two paragraphs here. The subject of Cuties isn't twerking, it's children. Still doesn't matter. There is twerking in the film, right? In scantily clad outfits. Yes. Especially poor and non-white children who are deprived of the resources. I'm sorry. There is such a thing as poor white children too. How about just poor children? How about we just leave it at that? Who are the most susceptible to this garbage, to this? Yes, they are. Poor children. Who are deprived of the resources, the education. By the way, just look up the number. I mean, if you really need to look up racial demographics, which is not anything I ever need to do in the morning, personally. Again, everybody's an individual. Obvious statement here that it has to be said. It has to be said. It's part of being a YouTuber. But if you go look at the actual numbers on what groups, just by sheer numbers, have the most poor, have the largest poor. I can't think of the term. I can't use my words. The largest numbers of poor people in the country are based on the largest number of people. That's all. I didn't grow up poor. I was middle class. I made myself poor when I went out and got really high on drugs and got into a lot of trouble and ended up homeless. So I have experienced that life. Absolutely. The most of my adolescence was not living at home, not knowing where my next meal was going to come from, not going to school. So I know a little bit about it. A little bit. That's why you should never assume. The education, the emotional support, the open family discussion to put, I don't want to use that word, contextualize, that's what I'll replace it with, media and pop culture into perspective. Left on their own, Angelica, for instance, is virtually unsupervised by parents who are working very hard to keep their restaurant afloat. They're unable to find or even seek the line between liberation and exploitation, between independence and intimidation. Cuties is about the absence of knowledge and absence of reasonable discourse about sex and contextuality, power and desire that help young people to avow and comfort their drives constructively, or at least not too destructively. Lacking those things, Amy latches on to a mold of revolt that in itself is a trope of a misogynist order. So what you're trying to say, see, because this is a drama, it's supposed to be a comma, but it's a drama, a dramatization of real life. So what you're saying is, okay, who is this for? Is this for a bunch of rich elites who want to see just for a couple hours through the lens of somebody who is poor? I mean, because, families like this know what it's like already. They live it every day. That's why the worst thing to come out of entertainment is drama. It's the worst, because that's the one thing Hollywood and the BBC can't do. They can't do drama. It's all fantasy. It's all fantasy. And even if the actors or the adult pretenders or the people who help adult pretends came from those backgrounds, if they get into Hollywood or London and the BBC for long enough, they lose perspective of that. I love it when somebody from the New Yorker is going to break it down for us what real life is like. Thank you very much. I'm sure you know in your Manhattan apartment that isn't worth shit right now because of the politics of your local government that you probably support. I'm guessing. I know I'm going out on a limb there, but Cuties is a film of the center, and it's aesthetically of the center. It depicts the unconsidered without the unconsidered by you. I don't need to, I don't want to consider this. Yes. Kids go out and do crazy things. I understand that. And it's all, in parenting. Now, if you want to, like you're the last people to teach this lesson on earth. Even if the director had experienced that herself, she is dealing with producers. She's dealing with the machine, the entertainment machine, which is going to dilute that and exploit it for whatever they can. Oh, that poster was just an accident. Well, they happen to be wearing that stuff in the movie. You know that, right? So advancing to the realm of the subjective. So this is subjective. And it doesn't allow its young protagonist much discourse, outer or inner. They're 11. I don't want to hear much discourse from my 11-year-old. It's not a movie of introspection or self-consideration. It's more a story of the rule than of the exceptions of what's unduly extraordinary about the effort to live an extraordinary life. Oh my God, this guy loves him, his words, doesn't he? As such, it's a story of French society at large, its exclusions and the exertions demanded to overcome them. Though many of Amy's actions are dubious, her spirit of revolt is nonetheless sublime and heroic. Cuties dramatizes what people of color. Article said that, not me. I hate I really dislike that term. You are people. You are people. You have a name. And immigrants endure as a result of isolation and ghettoization, of not being represented culturally and politically, and of not being represented in French national mythology. Well, because they're new. Give it time. Give it time. See, this is that whole mentality of I'm here now, change everything for me. You know what? I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict. I don't walk around demanding that bars shut down every time I walk by. Everybody hide their beer or their alcohol or put your J out or your bong out when I walk by. I'm not one of those people, but that's the mentality here, that the world has to change for me. Its underlying subject is the connection of personal identity to public identity and the urgency of transfer. Okay, what? You mean people act different in front of other people? People. Yeah, we do. We do. Transforming the very notion of French identity, of changing the idea of who's considered the representative face of France. The idea is brought to the fore in an extraordinary, brief, symbolic ending. It's enough to give a right-winger a conniption, which is all you care about. Well, then Richard Brody, who began writing for The New Yorker in 1999, is defending this film. He is a defender of this film, making him a defender of what this film exploits. Context doesn't matter in this case. It doesn't matter. Because again, the mute button. The mute button and the purpose that people watch crap like this. And of course, we've got Scotty Mendelson. I don't even want to read it. Now, listen, I brought this guy up before. He's well known within the Fandom Menace. He's had horrific opinions on Star Wars, and it turns out his horrific opinions extend out to real life. Not surprised. He is a contrarian. This is, again, crossing the line. And okay, Scotty, okay, that's where you want to be. So be it. You are defending this movie as well. You are. And by the way, I think it's still up there. Cancel Netflix. Yes, it's still trending. It is still trending. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Hang on. Let me pull that aside. Yes. Cancel Netflix is trending. Oh my God, I hate this shit. Hollywood is really pushing the boundaries, and so is the state of California. And I hope one lesson we can all learn is sitting back and being quiet about this stuff is not going to change anything. So please continue to shout as much as you want about it on Twitter. You are, okay, if you are a part of the conservative party and you're right wing, you're not wrong. If you are a centrist, you're not wrong. If the fact that they're trying to label this as a right-wing campaign tells you everything you need to know. And this, I mean, they're just digging their own grave. Just digging their own grave. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. And thank you for at least being honest. And you know what? That dude will remain employed. And listen, you're allowed to have bad opinions. This one, I've never said I'm a free speech absolutist. I think most things can be said, done, shown in a film. I'm all about free expression. I'm not a moral grandstander at all. But I don't. This isn't about that. This is a line you simply don't cross. Period. The damage it does to kids is permanent. It's permanent. And then what happens later when that kid grows up, hopefully they get therapy, they work their way through it. If not, they are broken. It rewires you. Scotty doesn't care. Scotty doesn't care because Scotty and New Yorker dude want to just piss off the right. Whatever pisses off the right, that's what they want to do. And that's the place Hollywood is in right now. And you know what? I'm not going to be sad when I see their reckoning. We talk a lot about Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars. It is all in one. They're all one big happy family, and they all back this stuff. And now, they have their Spawn out there, and they're making more of them. Which is, you can't blame them for bad parenting because it was probably the nanny. But when it comes to comic book writer Greg Rucka, who had a son arrested for vandalizing a Starbucks in New York, he was from Portland. I don't know what he was doing there, vandalizing somebody else's job, by the way. You're looking at the corporation, but you're not thinking about the baristas there who have to pay their rent, who have to pay their bills and can't go to work now or are afraid to go to work because it got busted up by some rich, snotty little, I don't even want to say punk, because, that's what he is. That's what he is. And apparently John Malkovich's kid got busted doing the same thing. And it's, paying forward this mentality, right? And that kind of sums everything up. A millionaire's son loots a Starbucks. And it turns out somebody who works for the Democratic Party got busted for looting too. Now, apparently they have changed something in Portland. I was watching a little bit of a Tim Pool video today. So they're not just local charges when they get busted for rioting. So they go to jail and then they get released overnight, which is what's been keeping it going, aside from all the funding that they get from the dumb rich people in Hollywood. Now they are getting hit with federal charges, and apparently the rioting ended, or at least calmed way down last night. Now, I don't know, wasn't there. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right, let's get to you guys a little bit. And we're going to change gears after we answer a few questions here. And we're going to go to something a little lighter, before we do though, San Francisco was orange yesterday. I got to talk about that. It was a crazy day yesterday. So Daisy Ridley drops a bomb on Star Wars, embarrasses the shit out of Kathleen Kennedy, Jar Jar Abrams, Rian Johnson, and the whole company, which is the least of their problems because they have the Mulan controversy, which is actually starting to get picked up by the press, which I am absolutely shocked about. Then Star Trek Day, the day before, was a horrific, abysmal failure. The Star Trek that is a political platform now. They want to use it to support organizations like the BLM and be anti-Brexit and anti-Orange Man. And then San Francisco turns orange. Think about it. Turns orange. Now, my son is there. So my oldest son, and he sent me pictures. But I'll pull up the San Francisco Chronicle pictures if they're still there. Hang on just a mo. San Francisco. Oh yeah. I think it's still orange. Sure I'm on the right one there. There we go. Oh gosh darn it, I did again. There we go. And Yeah. Holy crap. So it looks like Blade Runner 2049. And of course, there's all the wildfires. And I'm sure they're going to blame that. I'm sure they'll find a way to blame this on the Orange Man. The clock is ticking. They blame the hurricanes on them too. So why not? Yeah, this is crazy. And I got out of there just in time. Yep. I'm feeling good about my instincts right now. You know, it's all in the reflexes is what they say. Got the hell out of Dodge. I wish my son wasn't there right now breathing this crap, but, you know, I've seen this before. This isn't actually anything new. I've seen it a lot down here when I was growing up. There's a bunch of wildfires right now, and it turned the sky orange. It turned it into Blade Runner 2049, which I think is a really slow movie. I didn't like it, but yeah, I had friends shooting me pictures. Holy crap. So you got this in the poop. And my God, I'm glad I'm very sorry that I've got a house down there. Let's see what this looks like. Yikes. Yikes. Well, yeah, I got out of there just in time. Just in time. Cal Exit is still on, by the way. Once the room is done, I am on my way to Texas. Gonna check out Tejas first, man. I can't wait to get there. You know, I gotta admit, you know, the weather down here in San Diego is friggin' great, but I can't stay. I was just handed, do I have it with me? Yeah, I do. Listen, you know, I'm not going to ever tell you who to vote for president or anything. Everybody's welcome here. You'll always be welcome here. I honestly don't care. I think, you know, at our core, we have more in common than we don't. And we're all nerds and we want to just enjoy our entertainment. But yeah, there's another tax hike coming, which is going to add to our property taxes. It is Prop 15. And they've been trying to run this through, and it's just more taxes on property taxes, commercial businesses. And it is massive. And they want to do it in an economic downturn with like 8% unemployment. That is insane. But it's California. I remember California used to shoot down every tax bill that came across up until like the mid 90s. Like if it was a tax bill, it got shot down. Now that everyone gets approved somehow. So, yeah, I can't support everybody. I got to support my kids. And nor can you. But it's just too much. We are taxed to death in this city, in this state. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Modesto and you're getting taxed to death. Modesto. I mean, nothing against Modesto. It's just, you know, it's not San Diego. Christian Basil for $5. Hail, Gary, from the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS show. May I suggest move to Florida? Like California without the messy cleanup and half the calories. Yeah, no state. Is there no state taxes there? But Jeremy's there. I'm just kidding. The Invisible Man for $5. Gary, saw Tenet last night. Was great in the real it was great to be in the real theater again. Never loved a movie that confused me so much as that one. Really good stuff. All right. Well, I can't wait to see it once a theater is open. Louis the Plank for $5. Hail, Gary. I killed my Netflix account today. I'm sure we all know why. I can't fund Speedos. Minus the S in front. Oh, that's good. Speedos is good. Yes, I have canceled my Netflix, and I like The Witcher, and I like Stranger Things, and there's a lot of things I like on there, and I canceled it. Will I review stuff? Sure. There's ways. But after Umbrella Academy, which I probably I'll put up my review eventually, which was half great and half woke. I was pissed off enough. I'm worried about The Witcher season 2, but I can't support it. I can't support this at all. And no, you're not being extreme. This isn't excessive. We have to put our foot down now, because what they're doing is Hollywood is they are testing the boundaries. So and of course, they're out there in public lying to our faces, and they know it. And this isn't a court of law. All right. We understand the nuance. We understand you're full of shit, and we're going to cancel our service. It's about the context, though. It's about the context. So all of a sudden, you have made it okay to hyper contextualize Padawans. So you take another step next time and another step next time. That's how it happens. And I think it should be taken on a case-by-case basis. Again, there are coming-of-age movies out there already. There's already been films that are very questionable. I don't watch them. I simply don't watch them. I don't watch anything by Roman Polanski. I think the last time I saw something, and this was before I knew anything, it was a long time ago, but once I found out what he did, I don't watch anything he did. Period. I saw Frantic in the theaters. I think that's the only film by him I've seen in the theaters, and that was just because it had Harrison Ford in it. Wasn't very good. Yeah, I simply, that's my line. I won't support it. Call me crazy. And there's no justification. And I know he's done an all-time classic, and I'll never watch it. I'll never watch Chinatown. Not ever again. Hail, Gary. I killed my Netflix. Shit. Gary saw Red Dwarf, The Promised Land. Awesome, says Christian Basil. Cool. I still need to see Red Dwarf. Hail, Gary. Love Hollyweird's new purse puppy rule for the Oscars. Oh, yeah. This is the same Hollywood who wants to morally grandstand and purse puppy the Oscars. What's a purse puppy? That's your boy Zach from Diversity in Comics term for tokenizing. Basically, and listen, it's something Jonathan Boyega just called out. It's something we have been calling out all along. We have been calling it out with Doctor Who. We've been calling it out with Star Trek. Star Trek Discovery will not stop talking about how they have the first openly gay couple and they've kissed, but they give them nothing. They are flat characters. There is nothing to them. There is no nuance. There is no context to these characters. Young Ripa has talked about this a lot. Jonathan Boyega brought it up. The only characters that you can write with any kind of personality or anything are white characters. You end up the bigotry of low expectations. That's all it is. And because the writers are afraid to write any black character with flaws right now. So they're all going to be a soulful saint or how did Zach put it? They're all either a super genius or a soulful saint. Poper Lives 34 links for $5. Welcome. And thank you for the Super Sticker Culture Casino. Thank you for the Phallic Unicorn. I was watching your live stream the other day. It was quite good. Subjects like this, again, are not listen, I'm going to talk about it more. This is what I've got the most emails on this morning. I mean, I was flooded with emails this morning from that New Yorker article. And then I watched Tim Pool's video, which was great. And it's getting worse. Like I said, they are testing the boundaries. So we need to scream about this and not shut up about this and keep it up. Do I want the film canceled? That's a good question. I want Netflix to make their own decision to not put it out there. I want the filmmakers to make their own decision not to make films like this. I don't want it regulated by the government. I really don't. I want us as adults, I know this is a freaking fantasy, but I want us as adults to know just basic lines. I'm not asking for much. Basic lines. Freedom of expression up to a certain point. And I don't want that certain point run by the government because you know what? That's bad too. And this isn't an easy answer, but then it is. Simply don't do it. If you want to tell the story in another way. Find another way not to put kids in it. That's all. And this is such a rare, I mean, it's not like there's a bunch of movies like this. I'm sure there's movies out there that we don't know about that are worse. I'm sure there is that have gone under the radar. We got to make sure not too many do. But there's so many independent films right now because of Netflix. They funded this. And remember, Apple was behind this too. They were big time behind this. They both wanted this out there. And I think it's very important, very, very, very important that everybody calls this out. Left, right, alphabet community. So there aren't any false associations. But if the New Yorker is going to come out and try to make this a partisan issue, I mean, I don't know how you could be that dumb. And I don't think anybody who writes for the New Yorker is dumb. So you're disingenuous, which is worse. I would call that evil. I would call it evil. We got a $50 super chat here from Keller Ranch for $50 U-Haul truck gas money for the move. Thanks. Thank you, Keller Ranch. I appreciate it. I can't get out of here soon enough. We love this house we're in, but it's temporary. We're not going to get tempted by it. We're not going to get tempted by being in San Diego. I am the fuck out of here. I do not want to live in a state with SB 145, even being considered. And now it hasn't passed yet, and I'm not going to discuss the details. Just go look it up. It's nasty. It's just downright nasty. And I don't want to, I'm going to defund California. I'm going to defund San Francisco. That's the only way you will not have these people overlording you, because, man, we have little control in this state. It is a machine right now that has taken over the state, and it is got its claws into it, and it will never let it go. I hate giving up ground. I really do. I loved California. I grew up here, born here. Never thought I would leave in a million years, but it's gotten bad, and it's only going to get worse. And right now, I guess the best option is to leave. Now, I know it's a meme right now, Californians leaving, and deservedly so. But I'm not going to go, I don't know. I'm not your typical Californian. I'm really not. Even though I was born and raised here, I'm not going to go and open up a socialist bookstore and ride my unicycle around with my parrot on my shoulder, reading Black Mass comics. No, I'm going to go wherever I go. I will adapt to wherever I go. There you go. Book sales are really good, so I'm sharing with my favorite truth teller. You have an American story leaving to find freedom in a better world. My best to you, brother. Thanks, George Orwell, wow. Thank you for the $200. Yes, your book is I don't know if it's going to be required reading in high school much longer, because it's very instructional at this point. So thank you, George Orwell. Thank you for the $200 super chat. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I do my best here. I can't. I recorded like 10 minutes, a 10-minute video, which I guess I could have put out, but it was like me yelling for the first 5 minutes. And I'm going to keep that. I'm pretty good with, I'm okay with it. I usually don't yell in my videos, but like, once I saw right wing attached to this, I knew it was going to happen. I mean, they are so predictable, the mainstream media. They have lost all usefulness, which is very bad. We need a media out there to keep our government in check, to keep corporations in check, to do investigative reporting. But now it's all from one side, assuming that the other side are just the pure good guys. I'm here to state the obvious. It's part of what I do on YouTube. None of them are good. None of them are good. And we need to keep an eye on them all the time. And every day, as each day goes by, we lose a little bit more freedom. And yeah, the last thing I want to do is go somewhere and watch it turn blue Watch it turn California blue. And, it's not, we're used to it. Okay. You grow up in California. You're used to paying a lot of money. I know no different. I'm absolutely used to paying $4 for gas. And when I was smoking cigarettes, it was like $10 a pack. That was years ago. I'm used to paying, ridiculous amounts of money for groceries. That was the one thing weird when I went to London, was everything was expensive except for the groceries. The food was pretty cheap. That showing that our food is really expensive. Redneck Gringa, welcome to the Geloja level. I appreciate you. Nikki D for $10. While the director's intentions may have been pure, it should not excuse poor judgment. The attempts of social engineering by Netflix and Hollywood should be heavily investigated by the government. Yes, and heavily I think they should be heavily scrutinized by us. And we can do our own investigation. We are a vast network of individuals who are in constant contact with each other now. And you can just pick a content creator or start your own channel if you have some news, if you know some information, some info. I was about to say something I don't want to say. But if you have some inside information on Hollywood, I would love to hear it. And anybody would love to hear it. You can remain anonymous. You will be safe here. But I know there's stories out there waiting to be told, and it's only a matter of time. So yes, we need to keep the scrutiny on them. And I appreciate the fact that so many are behind this, and that's the one good thing, is the fact that it's trending on Twitter is, not that Twitter's good, because it's not. And I don't know all the context, but it looks like people are genuinely pissed off at this. And that's good. This is pretty obvious. Nicholas Horton for £5. Hail Gary. Dame Diana Rigg has passed away at the age of 82. The Queen of Thorns, Emma Peel, who was hotter than hot. She was. And a great actress. She did a good job. The Queen of Thorns in the books, it was a little different, but she did a great job. She did a great job, and she will be missed. She lived a good, long life. Thank you, Diana Rigg. Rest in peace. Astro Man for $5. That Dune trailer, though. Yes, the Dune trailer. Well, I thought it was... I don't know a whole lot about Dune. It's a book I've started many times and never finished. I have respect for those of you out there who love it. I got to admit, look pretty good. My only nitpick, play the original version of Eclipse. Come on. You're messing with perfection, okay? Just play the original version of Eclipse. That's all. But it looks pretty good. The lead looks very dainty and small, but apparently that is how he was. That's accurate to the book. It's accurate to the source material. Will it be woke? Probably. I mean, the trailer looks good, but it'll probably be woke. Come on. It's Hollywood in 2019. I hope it's not. I hope it's the next Lord of the Rings. That's what I want. That's my desire. But we need to expect this from Hollywood now. And things are going to get much, much worse. Don't believe for 1 second that they're going to dial the woke up to 15 at this point, because they are. It's already happening. Look at the Oscars. Do you think Disney's going to do any different? If they're not, getting questioned by the government for being associated with very bad places, we'll say. That narrative that, ABC News and CBS and Fox and all the other news agencies have been trying to run out there, that the bad guys from Germany have somehow made a big comeback. They really haven't, but there is something kind of like that over in a country that Disney really likes to do business with. Of course, we're talking about Mulan, which has now been banned by the Chinese government as well. That movie just getting it from all sides. And I saw Critical Drinker's review, which was great. I'm not going to watch the movie. I don't need to see another Mary Sue. I've got Star Trek Discovery Season 3 coming up. So, and we will discuss that trailer, by the way. Did you notice the trailer has 1 million views and 2,000 likes? 2,000 likes. If you got 1 million views, you should have somewhere around 50,000 likes, 60,000 likes. Welcome to 2020. Where being against bad things is a right-wing talking point. Welcome to 2020. Where having common sense is an alt-right dog whistle. Just laugh and honk your nose. Right, for $5? Indeed. Hail Gina Carano, by the way. Looking forward to the Cara Dune show. Hail Gina Carano. Hashtag the Fandom Menace was right. Mr. Insanity for $2.99. Yes, the Fandom Menace was right. The individuals who like to use that hashtag were right. They were right. They have been right. You have never needed validation ever. You were always right. And Star Wars Theory's reaction was golden. We'll go over it in a little bit. It was golden. Listen, we have been called, all of us here have been called the worst things for not liking a movie, calling out Cuties, calling out Star Trek Discovery. Actually, the worst culprits right now are in the Star Trek fandom, that little tiny fandom. And these, I would call them up and coming channels. I don't want to disrespect any of my cohorts here on the platform. But a couple of them have gone to extreme levels, we'll say. I would call them up and coming, but they've been stuck in the same position for a couple of years now. So they have decided to get pretty dark. It's not helping. It's not helping. So it's still happening. It's still happening. But it turns out the Fandom Menace was right all along. So we were called ists and phobes, and much, much worse. We ended up on lists, all for not liking a film and pointing out that you were making such a big deal about getting a black actor in Star Wars, and you made him a janitor. You made him a stereotype. And you're calling us the ists. Okay, cool. You gave your strong female lead nothing. We knew nothing about her, and you had no plan. You had no plan because you took the fans for granted because you don't understand fandom. You might understand filmmaking all day long, but if you're going to buy an established franchise, you better learn the fandom. You better learn the canon. And if you don't, again, that's a political issue too. So every criticism is a political issue. So be it. So be it. At this point, fuck it. I don't care. Fine. Popper Lives, 34 links for $2. Thank you for the super sticker. The Grizzly, $5. Love your work. Keep speaking about the insanity that is communist leftist Hollywood. I won't purchase another Hollywood-made anything ever. And you are not the first nor the last to say that. Hollywood is in for a reckoning, and I will enjoy it at this point. And what sucks is there's a lot of good people who work there who don't want any of this. It's kind of up to you to speak up. You got to keep your own in check. We can speak up all day long, but it does matter hearing from Gina Carano, right? Gina Carano hopefully doesn't get run off the show and run out of town. We need more Gina Caranos. You see, if we had some balance, I really wouldn't mind wacky actors, showing their true colors and constantly being political, because there would be another side to that. Well, there is. They just don't feel free to speak. That's not a society I want to live in. Again, with some lines, a couple of lines, not to cross. Not everything has to be extremes. Or you don't have to be I'm not about absolutism ever. Except for a couple things. Joshua Leisk for $4.99 found out the town I'm moving to doesn't have a local comic book shop. Closest one are an hour plus drive away. Gary, what do I do? I love my old school DC. You go to find some Southern California comics. I would say Mile High, but they're too expensive. Jamie at Southern California Comics will work with you. He will talk to you. He will send your stuff out. It's a local shop here. It's got a bunch of back issues and it's great. So Jamie Newbold, he's written a couple of books. He was my mentor. He is a great guy. He is a friend, and he owns Southern California Comics. So go to SoCalComics.com. Stetson's Gold for 10 pounds. These people are insufferable. Whilst I'm in the entertainment industry, have you heard about, whilst I'm in the entertainment have you heard about dance group diversity's George Floyd dance routine? Pure cringe. No, I haven't. But I did hear about a comic book. A comic book that's coming from DC Comics that's written by the bird watcher of Central Park, right? Is that it? And the comic book is about a guy who has some binoculars, and when he goes bird watching, his binoculars show him the faces of dead black men that have been shot by cops. That's a true story. They are making a comic book about a guy whose binoculars will show him the dead black faces of men shot by cops. Yeah, DC's going down. DC's going down. Entertainment is gone. It's just gone. With the Oscars thing too, we can go. I mean, I don't care about the Oscars anymore. I didn't care about the Oscars. Last one I cared about was when Return of the King won. It's useless, and it will now wallow in obscurity. Nobody's going to watch it anymore. It just killed itself. And yeah, entertainment. It's going to be. This is the time we're going to have a great independent movement. We're already doing it. Like, this is it. I don't know how many times I've said, first thing I do in the morning is look for a video and a live stream to watch while I'm doing something. I find them much more informative. Hail, Gary, you, Mahler, and Lady Gravemaster are my 3 favorite YouTubers. Hail, Lady Gravemaster. Chat show Lady Gravemaster so love on her new video, said Nettle Nerds for $5. That's right. I haven't even seen it yet. I was preparing. But she put out her second video. My producer, Lady Gravemaster, go check out her channel. She is free to put the link to her own channel in the chat. I don't know if she's done it yet, but she's free to do it. But yes, great. Her first video is great. Obi-Wan 27883 for $20. Hail, Gary. Welcome back to SoCal. We should catch up sometime. Love the content. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you. And yeah, we should. If I get up to Orange County, I will let you know, man. OC. I think you're up there. Somewhere you're up north of me. I don't know where exactly. Elliot Nelson for $4.99. Thanks for fighting the good fight. Keep using your voice for good. I will. And thank you. I appreciate that. Let's get to a little bit of Scotty Mendelson. I needed to take a break in between the New Yorker and Scotty Mendelson. All right, just a reminder. This New Yorker headline is something else. If you're just getting here, the New Yorker says that calling out cuties is a right-wing campaign. That is, I'm trying to find a good word for it. Disgusting, disingenuous, evil, and expected. Absolutely predictable. I'm not even disappointed. Richard Brody is a defender of this film and believes that things like this should exist in the future. And he's happy that it pisses people off. And he thinks it's just a right-wing thing. Remember when like the New Yorker and the New York Times We believed that those were kind of the upper tier places we go for news and information. I never thought that much, but that was the general consensus, 20 years ago. The freaking Inquirer has more, TMZ has more credibility than the New Yorker right now. All of you in the chat have more credibility than Richard Brody. And I doubt he even came up with this idea himself. I'm sure he heard it somewhere. You want to talk about talking points? I think there's a very good chance that the mainstream media gets their talking points. You know what? It's often you accuse, you get accused of something that they are doing. Of course, the Fandom Menace is accused of getting talking points. And listen, we haven't gotten the talking points from Jeremy in like 48 hours because he's on the road. Give us a break. But here, we're going to go over to Scotty. Controversy over Netflix's Cuties was outrageous, unfair, and incorrect. Scotty Mendelson. Man's man right there. Now that I've seen the movie, the online outcry over Cuties, which finally debuts on Netflix this morning, was absurd, overblown, inaccurate, and you'd probably expect, as you'd probably expect. In a sane world, Cuties would be viewed as exactly the kind of movie for which folks champion Netflix. It's a French melodrama directed by a black female. By the way, I go to very few films giving a crap what the director is these days. And I have never cared what junk my director has for the film I'm watching or what their skin color was. I don't care what the producers look like. I don't care. I just want an entertaining film that doesn't exploit children. Apparently that's too much to ask these days. But that's what this whole thing is based on. They're now trying to thread the narrative that we are against this because it's a black female director. And in my first video, I said it doesn't matter. Because I think anybody can be a creep. And you calling out an insane world, Scotty Mendelson. Concerning a young, directed by a black female filmmaker concerning a young black girl who is pulled in two contrasting directions. It's an old school coming of age story about a girl who finds an activity which allows her a certain freedom from her conventional traditional upbringing. Its broad skeleton is no different from the likes of Bend It Like Beckham and Whip It. I didn't see Whip It. Did Bend It Like Beckham have 11-year-olds twerking? I mean, let me know if it did. It is bright, colorful, energetic. Oh, it sounds like you really liked it, Scotty. Energetic character play dealing with both the burden of traditional feminine expectations and the hyper contextualization of pre-adolescent girls, while hyper contextualizing pre-adolescent girls. Do you like it, Scotty? Do you like this kind of movie? Okay. Debuting on Netflix this morning, Cuties is a good movie which condemns a popular culture that encourages girls to embrace overt and performative contextual that punishes them for it. Oh, look at that. You can see what I was looking at on eBay. Well, not all this stuff. But I was definitely looking at the Osmus, Galadriel, Faramir, Bill and Ted, Hot Toys. I wasn't looking at Darth Maul, though. Okay, back to this. Sorry. I'm a nerd. Give me a break. But of course, in our mad online world, one which depiction equals endorsement. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Kids can't consent. With an attitude like, no. The film became a firestorm of controversy after the initial poster, which has a costume that they have in the film, was accused of being essentially bad things, propaganda. Now that the film is available on Netflix, it can exist as it was intended. Oh, really? Oh, really? Again, I'm going to ask, sorry if I bring this up too many times, but a lot of people are just joining us. Does the context of the film change when you hit the mute button? You know what? Bound. There's a movie called Bound. There's a lot of context to that movie, but it's known for one thing. Y'all know what it's known for, right? A pretty steamy scene that is probably what was the most watched thing about the movie. I'm guessing not a lot of people remember the plot of Bound. It's actually a great film. It's a great film. But the selling point was Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly getting it on. Getting it on. That scene didn't require sound or context. And it served a purpose, we'll say. So let's see if Scotty brings this up. Scotty thinks he's really smart. There are some people who are just born with bad takes. Like I had a co-host a long time ago, and he had a reputation. He used to come to my comic store too, and he was just like, if you say the sky is blue, he will say it's purple. He is just one of those people. Nice guy, but just like contrarian. Just constant contrarian. I always thought that's what Scotty was. No, he's worse than that. There's people on this platform, people who like, just all the bad films. You could like one of them once in a while. That's fine. It doesn't bother me, but like if you like all the bad films and you're on this platform and you're wondering why you're not growing, that might be it. Sometimes you're just born with a bad take. It's fine. I'm not good at everything. I'm not good at a lot of things. But Scotty Mendelson is he's just got bad takes. But it's all because he is cultishly partisan. So the only reason he's writing this is it's a right-wing thing. It's a right-wing thing. So I'm just going to take the opposite side. I got a cure for cancer. Nope, cancer's natural. If the orange man said he had a cure for cancer, that's what the mainstream media is. Cancer is like a wildfire. It's natural and it needs to be allowed to happen. That's what their take would be. It can exist as it was intended. It's exactly what you might have guessed it was from watching the trailer. Glancing at the original theatrical poster, it played theatrically in France on August 19th, or taking even 30 seconds to look up the film's Wikipedia page. But no, the instant hot takes concerning the poster, one that wouldn't have, no. This isn't about the poster. Defender of this film, Scotty Mendelson. There are clips of the film available on YouTube. I don't care what the context is. It doesn't matter. Hollywood is the last place I would trust anybody with my kid. If you love your kids, do not let them act until they're older, until they're of age. Hollywood should CG their kids, although, God, that would open up another, maybe not. I mean, that's a horrible idea. But, yeah. Not unless I was there every second. Now, Hollywood has rules. They have lots of rules concerning kids. They're supposed to be an adult present. They're only supposed to work a certain amount of time during a school year. They have to go to classes. I took a producer class, so I'm aware of all this stuff. And it doesn't matter because powerful men and women get what they want in Hollywood. Flat out. But no, the instant the hot takes concerning the poster, one that wouldn't have been remotely out of place as a promo for dance moms, was unlikely intended to appeal that demographic as well as fans of Netflix's many, many dance movies, created instant judgments from the films was speedo bait. The film's director was chased off social media and even received death threats. Well, welcome to the club. Honestly, this is losing its meaning. It sucks that people receive these things. I've known people to receive them. I've received horrific things. You know what? I don't take them seriously at all. There are certain things you have to take seriously now, not the threats, the reality that there's some crazy Antifa kid who's probably the son of a millionaire who's willing to crack you over the head with a brick while you're not looking. That's a reality. But as far as like anonymous, listen, some guy cussed me out for all the things I've said, some guy cussed me out on Twitter because he didn't like my take on the boys on the binge model. I'm like, really? Not the cutie stuff or anything else. The boys binge model thing. Okay, cool. In the cruelest irony that this film starred a mostly non-white ensemble. Here we go. Well, you know what? You're exploiting non-white kids. Went from a net positive. Oh, really? You find this a positive as the kind of global inclusivity that the Netflix claims to champion, to a reason to further condemn the film, alleging it was another example of pop culture overtly contextualizing Padawans girls to a greater extent compared to their white peers. So Scotty's making this a racial and partisan issue. Tell me, who are the ists and the phobes? I swear to God, I do not wake up in the morning going, what is my political position on Daisy Ridley's statements about Star Wars? No. But that's the constant lens. This is what we have been, it's just been constant and people are fucking tired of it. And that's why Forbes is, that's why he's writing another article. And of course I have to respond when you're defending this shit. I mostly ignore this dude because his takes are horrific. I think I've only done like 3 videos on the guy, but he's a constant well of stupidity and just wrong. Cuties would have been a blink and you miss it newbie debuting in the middle of the week to minimal attention, but thanks to the outcry, its release is news. No, it would have been one step forward in the normalization of this stuff if it had gone unnoticed. And its reception will be closely monitored. Oh, I'm sure it will. Hi, Scotty. Absent the arguably disingenuous online outcry, Cuties is just a movie. It's just a movie, folks. Disingenuous. Rich, dude. Rich. The film does contain, you know what? Open invitation. Open invitation. Scotty Mendelson can come on this channel whenever he wants to debate me on this. Anytime. I'll send you the link. Whatever. The film does contain scenes of young girls twerking. After all that, the film does contain scenes of girls twerking. Right under the word disingenuous. Can you see it there? Let me make sure I'm lined up great right here. Right under the word disingenuous. The film does contain scenes of young girls twerking, both among themselves and in a climactic dance competition, but you'd have to be obvious to not realize, you'd have to be oblivious not to realize how those choices are perceived by both the supporting characters and by the filmmaker herself. Nobody cares about content when you're actually showing the thing. And there are scenes with the girls being leered at by adults. But I'm sure Scotty's one of those people who's okay with people, those videos out there of certain people twerking while they're reading stories to kids. I'm sure he's okay with that too. That's perfectly normal. We're just trying to normalize what are you trying to normalize? Because what it ends up doing is normalizing it. Here's my biggest nitpick is that my biggest nitpick is that the film so excludes men and boys from the narrative that essentially lets the patriarchal system that encourages and exploits such behavior off the hook. Wow. Almost the same exact take as Brody. It's almost like they are coming from the same side with the same talking points. I mean, defending the indefensible, calling it disingenuous while being disingenuous, accusing us of not catching the nuance when they aren't catching the nuance. How does Batfleck put it in Batman versus Superman? I don't know the exact line, but if there's even a 1%, a 0.001% possibility that this would attract the wrong person, start to normalize the wrong behavior, it needs to be shut down. And we're talking, case by case basis. We're not talking about coming of age films with 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds, which you can have an 18-year-old play, by the way. I think there's enough circumstantial evidence out there to show that Hollywood is not the best place for kids to be. How many career child actors are well put together? Not many. Some have made it. Yeah, man. All righty. Naughty One for $5. I wonder how many Wedos told Chris Hansen that they only stopped by the house to make sure the kid was safe. Yeah. Hollywood isn't trying to normalize this. This is normal to Hollywood. By the way, Naughty One, thank you for the $5. Fear of FEMA, thank you for the $5. Escobonafono for $4.99. Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. Are they trying to normalize the stuff before Ghislaine, how do you say her name? Ghislaine Maxwell gives up names? Maybe. Can I even say her name on this platform? China shut down any mention of Mulan in China by their media. The Disney crater is going to be visible from space, says many Bothans have died. Thank you for the $5. We lost Avenger Mrs. Peel, Dame Diana Rigg today. We did. Peppermint oil capsule. Thank you for the $2 super chat. David L., thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1.49. Thanks for fighting the good fight. Keep using your voice for good, which I read before, but what the hell. Elliot Nelson, thank you for the $4.99. All right, we're gonna change a little bit of gears in a couple minutes here. Bearded Warrior for 10 pounds. Do you like the new Dune trailer? I love the book, but I don't see how they can make it in 2020. To be a true to the story, the main enemy is a gay kitty lover. Yeah, I don't know how. But they might. I can't pronounce the director's last name, so Dennis. I think he's got enough juice to where he might be able to pull it off. For Dune fans, for like Quinn's idea, and for Andre at Midnight's Edge, I want it to be good. I want it to be good for those guys. They are rooting like hell for this. And it's only going to be the first part of the first book. Visually looks pretty damn good. All right. It does. The beta lead, I'm gonna have a hard time with it. I guess it's accurate to the book, and he's like super powered, but yeah, he looks very young, and like a strong wind would blow him away. But the visuals were good. We'll see. I think it's probably going to be woke. I hope I'm wrong. Wrote to Bill Barr, asked why Netflix not under investigation for distributing the bad stuff for profit. You should too, says Vincent Keith for $5. A lot of people have, but they can get away with it. They can get away with it under the guise of art. And then they have their defenders. They have the Scotty Mendelsons and the Richard Brodys out there telling us that we are being ridiculous, that you're being right wing, that you don't understand nuance. You're dumb. You're dumb. Scotty Mendelson writing another article that you're dumb. What did I say at the end of my last video? By the way, thanks for watching the video. I have something to bring up about the end. I have to go double check, but I have something to bring up about the end because I gave a YouTuber a shout out. And usually when this YouTuber gets a shout out, he mentions it everywhere. So he must have not watched my video. Busted. It's fine. I'm kidding. But I said at the end of the video, is something they said in The Boys last week. Don't fuck with the money. You don't fuck with the money. That's us. That's us. So when Scotty Mendelson comes out there and calls you stupid, are you going to buy anything on that website? How does that guy must make whatever he's making, he's overpaid. And he should be grateful he lives in a country where he can write articles with the worst takes possible and still have a job. I now want to see a film with the wizard and a drug deal gone bad on a spaceship, says Oz for £5. Well, I do too. That'd be awesome. Well, honestly, Dune might be that. It's a drug. It's a drug deal kind of gone bad. And there's wizards. Kind of. There's a little supernatural going on, right? Sacha Baron Cohen recently stated, freedom of speech is not freedom of reach. The statement freaks me out to no end. Boycott Netflix/Disney, says Michael Laparco for $4.99. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to boycott Disney right now. If Hollywood hadn't been grandstanding the last 4 years, telling us how much they care about the people, Listen, we know they're full of shit. And it comes out every time you see an interview with them. I mean, some are good at it, some are fine, some are not. These are the last people in the world who should be grandstanding about anything. Anna, that Star Wars girl, is viewing Cuties right now, and she is tweeting out comments. It's radioactive vomit. I hope Anna isn't scared for her life. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. I'm not going to watch it. No thanks. I don't need the clicks for anything like that. I honestly don't know if I'm going to make a video on it. I've said my piece here. Netflix stock dropped $19.52 today, says Nano Reaper, for $2. I saw the clips. There's 2 clips on Twitter that I watched. I don't need to see anything else. And I, again, fully aware of the context, fully aware that the director set out to call it out. And maybe she was genuine, but were the producers? Were they all? Poper Lives 34 Links says game over. Game over for $2. It is. Cuties stealing the innocence of our children. Sporky News Podcast for $2. Yep. Hollywood wants to steal the innocence. They've been trying to break down the family constantly. So is our education system. Larry, thanks for the thumbs up for $1.99. Dolified for $5. I think it's time we start making our own media. Hollywood is spiraling into a disgusting place. It is. And yes, I think we should just, pick up a microphone. Funny thing, I went to link. Somebody asked me, another YouTuber asked me what microphone I use. So I went to go shoot them the link, and they're on back order. All the microphones are on back order. So I think everybody is starting their own podcast. Good. We'll entertain each other. R.I.P. Mrs. Bond, Diana Riggs, Brown Gaijin for $2. Hailed. Yeah, she's all-timer, that one. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty's got to go. Scotty Mendelson, by the way. GWS Hunter for $5. Yes, Scotty's got to go. NB Geeks, Let's Talk for $5. I will never support this. I hope they all are shamed. The parents, the studio, the media, to exploit girls like that is just sick as heck. It is. And they don't think so. They are running defense right now because the majority of us are pissed off, but they really don't think so. So we really need to get those people gone. Anybody who thinks like that needs to just be gone. And making it a partisan issue. It doesn't get any lower than that, folks. It doesn't get any lower than that. Mary Ashby for $5. Thank you, Gary. You are amazing. You make me happy to listen to you, and I missed being here when Logan was having problems. Glad to be back. Well, glad you're here, Mary. Thanks for the $5. Hope Logan's doing okay. Mine, Logan, is doing great. Hammerhand for $10. A friend of mine watched this and said one of these kids flopped a ooh on screen. I can't say that, Hammer. I'm sorry. But I wouldn't be surprised at all. Nothing but spin from the New Yorker here. Yep. Oh, no, it's bullshit. There are 2 clips that will tell you everything you need to know. You do not need to watch the film. I do not recommend you watch the film. Just don't. Syndek for $5. Hey, brother, glad to finally be able to catch you streaming live. Hope you remember me. Hope to meet you when you visit Texas. Nerdrotic family is epic. Yes, we will meet. And haven't forgotten. I am trying to just keep up with everything right now and keep this channel going. The one thing that is the most important thing is keeping this channel going and keeping the entertainment going because I love it. I wake up in the morning wanting to talk to you guys. The subject matter isn't always the best, okay? But talking with you works me through it. There's dark shit in the world, okay? But it's not all that way. We definitely don't want to take that black pill. There are beautiful things in this world. There are good people in Hollywood. There are people in Hollywood who hate this shit. They're just not the people in power. We need to cycle that out. You know, look at Bob Iger's legacy right now. That guy was like toast of the town a couple of years ago. Now his legacy is shite. And Netflix, which was running it, they hadn't done a thing wrong. Now, I wasn't aware of Big Mouth, but I guess the argument could be made that Big Mouth is animated. It's still sick, and I won't watch it. But it's out there. It exists. So Netflix, which could do no wrong, now done fucked up. They fucked up hard because there is a line this country in particular doesn't cross. And I know there's a lot of people who leave this country and go to France for precisely those reasons. One of them, allegedly, was R. Crumb, the artist, who I liked quite a bit until I watched his documentary. Eli Snow for $4.99. I don't like ending people. I want to end these people. A paraphrase you'll remember. Also, behold the might of Orange Godzilla. Godzilla. Yes. I want adults to know where this line is and to not cross it themselves. I do not want a government telling them not to do it. But it's perfectly okay for Netflix to keep it up there if they want, and we'll just unsubscribe. And the one good thing is this is the great uniter. Nobody likes Alfredo. Not even in prison. Christian S. for $5. The U.S. Marshals deputized the entire Oregon State Troopers tombstone style. So now the riders are processed federally and aren't set free by lefties. Oh, shit. Really? Oh, that is hilarious. It seems to have worked. Is Greg Rucka's kid going on federal charges? We'll discuss what he's got to look forward to in just a little bit. Zelina SW for $4.99. We'll buy you dinner if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'll let you know. We should be. Thank you. North American Hamrammer for $2. Need to Photoshop Trump hair and smile over San Francisco. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody else. Well, maybe you did. You know, I didn't see everything. But yeah, San Francisco turned freaking orange. That's great. George Orwell, thank you again for the $200 super chat. You are brilliant. I'm going to read it again. George Orwell has been coming around for a long time, by the way. He never died. He's been around waiting for live streaming so he can chat in live streams. Book sales are real good. So I'm sharing with my favorite truth teller. You have an American story leaving to find freedom in a better world. My best to you, brother, and my best to you too, Jorge. Matthew Trump for $4.99. Gary, are you still stopping in Mesa, Arizona on your way to Texas? Yes, because I'm going to be going to New Mexico to see my dear mother, my other mother. I have two moms. They're not lesbians. I was adopted. So I'm going to visit New Mexico mom and my sister, my little sister, who's a firecracker, that one. She is a girl version of me. Sorry, world. Or maybe I'm a boy version of her. I'm not sure. Chamisa's awesome though. She's a good one. San Antonio is, it's the place to be. Great tacos, martinis, and good folks. Well, that is where I am going. Now it's going to be the outskirts. It's not the city itself because I am fucking done with cities. Yeah. So where I'm at right now will be the biggest place I'm ever going to live in again. I want to find some little town with like a diner, and the internet has to be good. That's it. Jean-Paul LeBlanc for $5. Think of all that money they saved on fire suppression. This is all because of global warming. That is why we need more green energy. New normal. I think we're headed that way anyway, but the fires are, honestly, they're a natural thing in California that happens all the time. I've been in the state for 50 years, and late September, early October, the winds change directions. Sometimes we get Santa Ana winds. It's the monsoon season. That makes other places dry. And right now we're in a La Nina. Okay, there's El Nino and a La Nina. El Nino is stormy. La Nina is dry. And that's when we get the big fires. It's nothing new. It really isn't. As far as, we should go for electronic cars, but that creates a whole new problem. Electronic cars need giant batteries to run. Giant batteries have a lot of acid. Acid gets dumped basically into a pit in China. So it's still, screwing up the water table there and everything. So no, that's not the answer. There will be someday, and I hope there is. But if you want to listen to my exozone, I'll tell you, like 12,000 years ago, the world was almost wiped out. Just 12,000 years ago, not a million years ago, 12,000 years ago. There used to be 2-mile ice caps all over Canada, all over the northern part of this country, and they all disappeared. In one case, almost overnight. And we recovered from that pretty quickly, for geologically speaking. About 1,000 years it took us. But just look at the northwest part of our country. Follow a person called Randall Carlson. Go check him out. He'll blow your fucking mind. He'll blow your mind. Mediocre streams for $5. California's on fire, and I'm just chilling in Texas. Hell, there you go. Well, it's fine. I mean, it's orange. It's semi-orange outside. It's not San Francisco orange, but there's a tint to the clouds, which aren't all clouds. It's smoke, and it's been like that for like 5 days, and I've lived through it before. So, Gary, the actor that played the cat in Red Dwarf, said that at the time of the show's peak, half of the show's cast were black. Says Jonathan Aldridge for £5. Oh, I would have to take your word for it. I'll have to take your word for it. There's always been inclusion. There's always been diversity. We can always strive for that, but you just want to entertain. That's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not a government-run agency unless you're the BBC, but I'm talking about America, and you will just not make money. Hollywood thinks they are essential. I'm here to tell you, Hollywood is not essential. Blockbuster films can end tomorrow. I'll survive. I'll get by. It'll suck, but there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen, a lot of stuff I haven't read, and quite frankly, Hollywood hasn't produced something. I said this on an Inquisition live stream. Name me an all-time classic that has been made in the last few years. Like a film that will be remembered forever. I mean, you could, like in the 80s, you could pick a few. In the 70s, you could pick like all the way back, but it's been pretty rough. Now, you might have something that's a favorite of yours, but I mean, universally loved, all-time classic. Maybe you could pick a couple, but I'm telling you, 10 years ago, you could have picked 5 easily, and it's hard to do now. There's good movies, but AFI Top 100, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Star Wars, original Blade Runner, or just Blade Runner. De Niro, T.L. Jones, The Comeback, Trail, Hollywood Try. The Comeback Trail, Hollywood Try is NK33. I'm not sure what you're asking there. There's a De Niro film. Oh, Tommy Lee Jones, The Comeback. I don't know. I'm not going to watch it. I can't stand Robert De Niro anymore. And I just can't. The river was deep, but I swam it. Says Jaloja Biafra. Jaloja Biafra for £2. I love that. Hail Gary, who knew you'd be on time for the nooner today? Well, I really wasn't. Here's a little something for Java, the move, your good kids, and of course the dogs. Thanks, aka Blonded, for $5. Yeah, my dog, one of them's freaking out because we moved. So yeah, it takes him a month to get readjusted. So anytime I walk out of a room, she's looking at me like, "You're leaving me forever." I'm like, "I'm not leaving you forever." No, she's all, no, you're leaving me forever. You're doing it, aren't you? She's like a stalker, that dog. No, she's great. Maris is awesome. Modalicious for $5. Creeping incrementalism, gaslighting, and how do I say that one? And Hegelian dialectic. You're using the big words, Modalicious. Stop it. Dialectic are political tactics Razorfist covered. Hollywood was always red. John Wayne was right. Oh, I've seen that video. He's actually done 2, which are really good, on the communism in Hollywood in the past. Go check them out after you see me, please. Razorfist is brilliant. Hope to have him back on Friday Night Tights. That was an all-timer, one of the most watched episodes of Friday Night Tights. And I do have to bring up, at this point, Star Trek. We'll get back to your super chats in just a second. But now is the time to discuss Star Trek Day, which was a fucking joke. It was a joke. So they ripped off, by the way, Star Trek's a platform now. It's a platform, and they used their appearance on San Diego Comic-Con to help fund Black Lives Matters. And I did find out organizations that were bailing people out. So Star Trek was used to destroy American businesses. Literally. It's fucking despicable. Comic companies are doing it too. Dynamite. Remember we were singing the praises of Dynamite, Nick Ferrucci? Comic shops got looted, and he probably was complicit, whether it was a penny, a microtransaction, I don't care, in bailing somebody out who destroyed a comic shop. Hollywood is instrumental with what's going on in the world right now with the writing. Heavily funded by them. And now some of their spawn are doing it too. But Star Trek was behind that, which disgusted me completely. Let me get to this article here. No more cuties. There we go. Let's start here, shall we? Okay, so there's Michael Burnham. And apparently, she probably replicated some extensions. That's fine. You see, this is their trailer for season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. And you see that it's got 2,500 likes. I'm going to have to reset this. Hang on. That's more like it. With 1,387,863 views. Interesting. So normally a video of a million or above will have 32 to 50,000 likes. So if you see this, it means that they have embedded this video into their, they own a bunch of websites. So you go to a website page and on the bottom corner, you won't even hear it. It'll autoplay the video. And that's how they get fake views. Fake views. The amount of people who actually watch this trailer is probably 20,000 based on this interaction. Or 1 million people watched it and just had no fucking opinion on it whatsoever. I will go, let's be fair, I'm not going to flex and show one of my own. I don't have a video with 1 million. I got one with like 850,000. That's got 42,000 likes. But let's go to my friend, the Critical Drinker. There he is. All right, so I got my keyboard is like under my tripod for my camera. I really got to fix this. Let's find something with 1 million views. We love the Critical Drinker, right? He's got here. We can sort it by most popular. We'll do No Time to Die Bond. So he's got 1,231,751 55 views. Well earned. Came out December 9th, 2019. If you're not aware of my good friend, the Critical Drinker, please subscribe to him. I'm sure you are. One of the best YouTubers on the planet. Just released a Mulan video today, which was great. Look at how many likes he's got. By the way, oh, I'm bad boy. There we go. Hang on. Okay. All right. 45,000 likes. That's normal interaction. But that's what we're dealing with Star Trek. Star Trek's a lie. It's a lie. They've done nothing but lie. They rip off other creators, allegedly, in my opinion, with the blue tardigrade, and they only won in a court case because they outspent Anas Abdeen, who unfortunately lost his appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very sad. Alex Kurtzman is a thief, in my opinion. He's also a hack, in my opinion. I don't want anything personally bad to happen to the guy other than he gets fired from Star Trek and goes and makes another show somewhere else away from Star Trek. That's about it. But Alex Kurtzman, Kathleen Kennedy, Chris Chibnall are all working today, and they've all destroyed franchises. And, you know, the reason it was a big day for the Fandom Menace a couple of days ago is because everything we have been saying was confirmed by Daisy Ridley in one little oopsie statement when she came out and said they never had a plan. Well, of course, we knew that. We watched the film. She also stated they didn't have a plan all the way through the third film. So I would say your instincts are pretty good. You have been on top of this, and your instincts aren't any different with Star Trek right now. Star Trek is it's massively failing. Nobody's watching it. And all you have to do is go look at Star Trek Day. So this is a channel with 211,000 subscribers, which is kind of sad to begin with, considering it's a network. And let's look at some of the view counts. We have a Lower Decks mid-season special. By the way, didn't watch Lower Decks today. Don't even give a fuck. 831 views. 6 hours ago, 831 views. Sir Patrick Stewart, for just a minute. By the way, don't upload 1 minute clips. It's fucking terrible for your channel. They have a little sound clip of Picard, 3,900 views. There's the whole panel, 7,300 views, and that is over 3 hours. That means they only had an average of under 1,000 viewers watching at a time. My live stream from the same day, which I re-uploaded, by the way, on another channel, has more views than that. My Nerdrotic Nooner from that day has 10,000 views. And that's not counting the 25,000 it got when it was on my main channel. And I moved it over to Nerdrotic Live, which is where all my live streams go after this. So, and then here, I got to scroll. That helps. You know, you got a 1 minute clip. By the way, just don't ever put those up. They're a waste of time. And I'm looking for, yeah. All right. So 18,000 views for the Next Generation panel, which I am guessing that shot up a lot. So I'm thinking that got embedded because that was a lot lower. So let me click on it and see what the likes to dislikes are. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it got embedded. This is bullshit. So it supposedly has 19,566 views with only 647 likes. It only got 19,000 views. They had to embed it. Thankfully, I've got screenshots, and so do others, before they embedded it in one of their websites. And I mean, I don't know what to say at this point. The Fandom Menace was right again. And it's only a matter of time until this house of cards falls down. CBS Viacom maybe wants to sell. That would be my best guess, that they want to sell to a bigger entity. And that's the only reason they're keeping this thing alive. Alex Kurtzman is horrific at his job, yet he is the pinnacle of failing upward. So, and listen, he's still there, and Star Trek's not going to get any better. And if you're out there defending the cartoon because you look at life through partisan lens, or you just don't like us, or whatever, I don't care. The Orville's out there. We're going to get one more season. Hopefully we get more after that. If not, at least we got 3. And it's better than this garbage. And Star Trek Discovery Season 3 is coming. It's coming. But they have been exposed. And if I'm wrong, show us the numbers, CBS. CBS, show us the numbers. But now I know why you don't. Because nobody's watching it here. They ain't watching it on CBS All Access. Star Trek Day. You know what? You want a good Star Trek Day live stream besides mine? Go watch Robert Meyer Burnett's live stream. It's damn good. Freaking RMB is awesome. Doomcock did a great video too on why he likes Star Trek, and you go check that one out as well. Yeah. It's fucking sad. It's sad. Now, the only time the fan bases get energized at all is when somebody runs with the rumor. Whether it's true or not, you cannot deny it fires people up. Now, there is a rumor for Doctor Who out there that there's a new person at the BBC who wants to straighten shit out. And if it doesn't get straightened out, the show is going to get axed. There's also a rumor that Jodie will be regenerating. This Christmas that comes through Noel at the TARDIS zone. I don't think so, but God, I hope I'm wrong. And Noel's a good dude. He's just running with the rumor he heard from a source, and that's fine. He is free to do that, and I support him completely in doing that. And the problem being also told me that too, so thank you, Hale. And we did get a little information that's very interesting today. Concerning Doctor Who. Turns out that Sacha Dhawan hasn't signed on for season 13. I have to shrink this a little bit. Hang on. A little bit more. Doctor Who star Sacha Dhawan would love to return as the Master, but he hasn't signed on yet. I'm sure he'll be inclined to make another visit. Doctor Who star Sacha Dhawan has hinted at the return of the Master in a future episode. I thought he was coming back because it's the timeless children, not the timeless child. Of course, if you're not aware of Doctor Who was invaded with identity politics like every other franchise, destroyed by partisan politics that are extreme leftist, elitist ideology that doesn't represent the fandom, that doesn't represent the public, and all entertainment has recently been relabeled to, they have rebranded from the entertainment industry to the influence industry, and they're not very good at it. They also changed the Doctor into a female just because they could, to virtue signal. They put nothing behind it. It didn't work. It's been an absolute and utter massive failure, like Star Trek Discovery, and they're going to stick with it because they have decided to play the game of identity politics and then you win identity politics prizes, which means losing a lot of fucking money. So now the master, who I would rather see Sacha Dhawan as a doctor. He wasn't a very good master, but I think he would be a good doctor. So Dhawan debuted in Series 12 as the latest incarnation of the Doctor's arch nemesis, following in the footsteps of Michelle Gomez, John Sim, and Sir Derek Jacobi in the modern series. Though the Master's evil plans with a Cyberman were ultimately thwarted, it was stupid. He always finds a way to return. There's been no talk about me coming back, he admitted to the Radio Times before hinting, I know they are planning another series and I'm waiting for that phone call. It is September 10th. They were supposed to be filming now. I heard the series was delayed. If they haven't even called him yet, where are they at? So now I'm wondering if we get a Series 13 with the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen, and she will have a different fucking hairstyle in Series 13 because she looks like fucking Karen. When are we going to get it? If they don't start filming right now, we won't get Series 13 until 2022. Which means this show is deader than fucking dead. And in these hyper divisive times where you have gone completely to one side, you shouldn't be surprised at all when you lose half your audience. And you're going to lose more. I would really love to come back. I'm just really excited. I'm just really excited to see if I do come back, where they would take the character. You know, the Master's so unpredictable. He can get out of anything. I'm sure he'll be inclined to make another visit. I hope. However, Dhawan admitted it would be quite intimidating to approach another Master story, given the way the entire 12th series was built around his reappearance. If I do come back, I need to come back with a bigger bang. I don't want to disappoint the fans. Well, you already done that. Well, it wasn't your fault though, Sasha. I'm not going to blame you. But I've got to wait for that phone call, so I'm not getting too stressed yet. So that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. I'm starting to think that there might be some truth to the rumor that there are some real problems. And that's the last thing I heard, is there are some problems. I've heard that with Star Trek too, but I'm not getting any details. So I don't know what to say. There's problems with fucking everything. I got problems. We all got problems. Fucking Star Trek though. And it's all Hollywood wanting to get, it's normal for Hollywood to get hyper political around election year. But as you all know, we've been in election season for 4 years with the mainstream media, with Hollywood. We're all fucking fed up with it. And now that we're seeing them actually complicit into some of the destruction of our society, actually funding behind the scenes and overtly the rioting and the looting, and using franchises that we built to do it. You have every right to be angry. You have every right to be angry. And for the disingenuous little twats out there who say Hollywood has always been like this, what are you being angry about? There's no fucking problem here at all. You're lying, or you're dumb. I don't know which one it is. But they're still out there. They're still out there trying to equate our commentary, our criticism as something partisan, accusing us of white supremacy. I ended up on a list. pretty high on the list too. Good thing my Vietnamese son doesn't know that. Got to keep it a secret. Shh. But it's funny in a way, and it's not. I get more angry when they do it to my friends here on this platform. People I talk to behind the scenes, and I don't think anybody here would be a fan of a white supremacist. So, and like at times you don't want to give these things oxygen. You don't want to give them attention because that's all they're trying to do is get attention. It was brought to me, there's things I can't say. There's things I can't say, and there's things I can. I love my co-host Doomcock. He co-hosts the Inquisition with me. He's a good dude. Talk to him quite a bit behind the scenes, and he of course has a character. It is a character that we need to keep the character up because that's all it is it's a character. It's just a character. And I can tell you without a doubt, all you have to do is watch his live streams. Watch his live streams and listen. He's very passionate. He's extremely passionate about pop culture, what he believes in. And just like Jeremy, both Jeremys, just like Jeff from World Class Bullshitter, none of us are really even right wing. But I don't want to falsely equate right wing to white supremacy because that's the narrative that the media has been running. And the reason they're going after us is we simply go, you know what? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Not everybody who likes the Orange Man, as a matter of fact, the vast majority of the people who like the Orange Man are not bad guys from Germany. But that's what they love you to believe. And it's been ingrained in every single fucking thing we watch. It's practically in commercials now. We're seeing it in sports, and we're fucking sick of it. And it's having the reverse effect. At least people are waking up to it. But if anybody, again, we're going to get accused of stuff all the time. We're going to have Bulls Trek and I had a Reddit thread written by us, about us. So it gets when you get searched up in Google, it will associate bad words to your name. Again, I wasn't aware of this until somebody brought it to me. And as far as Doomcock is concerned, he's not a white supremacist. He's not a racist. He's a YouTuber who likes Star Trek. And he's been making videos for a long time. And not all of his videos are up anymore. Because of he was concerned about the COPA thing with Harvey. So and he could always put him back up, but that was brought to me in an email, and I'm just like, you shake your head at this shit. But it's okay. That's part of the game. It's part of the gig, and it's perfectly okay. And do I get like angry and deep down inside, do I want to go after these people? And sure, I'm human, but I won't. No thanks. That's what they want. But you know what? If you want to criticize me for anything or criticize Doomcock for our content, perfectly okay. Make all the videos you want. Don't mind. But if they want to start getting in areas of like, at least, when I ended up on the list, it was some anonymous a-hole, and that's what it usually is. Some anonymous a-hole. And that's fine. Again, whatever. Doesn't, It happens. It's part of the gig. But remember, like, I am pointing out bullshit, Hollywood hypocrisy. I'm trying to, just get the word out there that they are trying to normalize crap with cuties, and Star Trek has been invaded by identitarians who have destroyed the franchise. Same goes with Doctor Who. Same goes with Star Wars. And it was just proven again with Daisy Ridley, showing they had no plan. The only reason they grasped on the Star Wars was to get their political message in it and make a bunch of fucking toys. And they thought we were all fucking dumbasses and we'd come and go watch it and give them their money. Well, you could certainly get away with that once. You can. But if you look at the numbers, listen, there's a lot of people who don't notice this stuff. I don't want to blanketly call everyone a dumbass who went and watched the movie and liked it. A lot of people watch stuff hoping it's going to get good. A lot of you are working every day. The normies are working every day. They don't see this stuff because they're not watching it as much as we are. So we want to be careful with the blanket, broad generalizations. But when other people try to criticize us by saying we don't point out the right-wing extremism in entertainment, I'm like, I'd be happy to do it when I see it. When I see it. Right now, it's left extremism. When you're on this platform, it takes a while to formulate your arguments, and either you got it or you don't. I mean, listen, you can keep trying, and if it's a fun hobby to you, do it forever. That's cool. But if you're just saying, especially when you're going after the same person or the same two people over and over again, broken record, man. And I'm talking about individuals, going after individuals defending billion-dollar corporations, by the way. I love the white knighting for CBS that goes on out there and the white knighting for Disney. That doesn't look... here, do I have... Let's see if I can find the picture. There was a pretty funny meme I saw with Star Wars Theory. I don't know. There it is right there. My Nerdy Home tweeted this. Steph tweeted this. I want to give her plenty of credit there. There she is. The moment when you realize the Fandom Menace were right all along. Oh, look at Star Wars Theory's face. Well, that face will be on some Star Trek fans in the next year or two. That's the face that Doctor Who fans had on. The ones who were holding out that Jodie would turn things around. That's the face of your corporate white knight. Right there. Sucking on that Disney knob. And that's, you know what? That guy's got millions of subs, man. Millions of subs. So it worked for him, but like, what's he going to be talking about now? Avar? Is Star Wars Theory going to theorize about Avar from the Let's Get High Republic? Is that another thing they're not going to plan? I think we saw what their plan was. It was on that whiteboard. Dinosaurs. Hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, my goodness. All right. Back to you. Back to you, chat. Samuel Stafford for $100. Greetings from El Paso. Some more gas money for your move. God bless. God bless you. God bless you. And I'm not even religious, and I'm saying it. Thank you for the $100. That's all right. If you believe in God, that's cool. I don't bust on people we got the Father here. And the Father doesn't even like sit there and try to convert me. He just comes in and wants to talk about comic books. It's great. It's great. Thank you for the coffee money, Barbara, for $2. All out of bubble gum for $5.
And hail, Barbara. I know it's not much, but I raise my glass of Black Butte Porter to you and your family, sir. San Fran turning orange. God Emperor Trump is all powerful. Yes. That is Trump gas going over there. It's funny. Jonathan Aldrich for £5. Gary, as said on his channel, that the Oscars if they go woke and then they did it only awarding shows with diversity that do not include white actors. Yes, Jonathan, they are going completely woke with the Oscars. There is a diversity quota now, and it ceases to be art at that point. But now you just saved 4 hours of your life, and you're never going to watch the Oscars again, and it doesn't matter what wins Best Picture. Honestly, awards are lame. Phoenix Tangent for $5. Speaking of woke, I mean, they were cool when they meant something. Speaking of woke, DC is doubling down on the woke by hiring New York City birdwatcher and Karen victim Christian Cooper to write a super woke comic. Yes, and the comic literally is about a birdwatcher who gets a pair of binoculars. When he looks through it, he sees the faces of dead black men like George Floyd. Cuties is the best in-fight movie to E-Island. Yes, that's so scaven for $2 Australian to Mr. Epstein. Fat Freddy's Cat, thank you for the joining at the proto-molecule level. I appreciate it. Sean Gone for $10. It is rumored that Disney board of directors have been watching Doomcock to understand fan perspective. Any thoughts? I don't know. I can't say that. I would say, here's what I've heard from a producer, that they do watch us, but it's Star Trek. I don't know about I'm not in the Disney board of directors. I'm not sitting in the Disney board of directors. But what I have heard is they do watch us and we get under their skin, and that they were specifically talking about me. I don't like to flex. Okay. I don't, but I went on a tour of a TV show, and I was told that we get under their skin. And then I was mentioned directly when it comes to Star Trek. I have also heard that they watch my live reviews of TV shows, and they watch my live streams. I tend to live stream the most, and they watch you guys in the chat. And I've reported on this before, so maybe that's where that rumor came from, because I was told that they want to see real time what people think, and it was concerning my live streams. I mean, I'm not comparing. I'm just telling you like what I've heard from an actual Hollywood producer. As far as Disney board members watching live streams, I think their assistants might. I think that's a possibility. I've always said that if you do a review of a TV show, there's a very good chance somebody from that TV show will be watching your review if they can find it, because they want to know what people think. I have said that all along, because I interviewed an actress from Happy when I had 300 subs, because she was watching our live stream reviews of Happy, and we were one of the only channels doing it. So, and she wasn't like, she was just a B character in it. She wasn't a main star, but, yeah, she came on the show and she was perfectly cool. So yes, they do watch. As far as board members are concerned, I don't know if board members know what YouTube is. These are bankers. We're talking, these aren't just lower level people. These are billionaires. Go look at the board of Disney. I believe Rupert Murdoch is on that board. Disney don't give a fuck what we think. If they did, they would have changed stuff sooner. They would have listened to the Fandom Menace. As right as we were, we lost. Star Wars is dead. Doctor Who is dead. Star Trek is dead. We lost. Doesn't mean we shut up, because we still could get some change. And you don't know until you try. And you got to keep trying. Look at how long it took for the Fandom Menace just to get noticed. And I think things would have changed drastically if it wasn't for the coof and the rioting and the looting. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Hollywood thinks it's 2016 again because of the rioting and the looting that they helped perpetuate, by the way. That's not the case. The consumers are actually more pissed than ever. The customers, not the consumers. The consumers will eat up whatever the fuck they put out. The customers won't. And our taste has not changed. Terminator Dark Fate would still be a flop. Birds of Prey would still be a flop. A woke James Bond movie will be a flop, but there won't be any hits anymore because they don't have theaters. And then when they have theaters and people feel comfortable enough to go, that could be years because partially your own damn fault. Your own news agencies have been running out there running fear porn for 6 months straight. Of course, people are going to be afraid to go to a movie theater now. Personally, I'm not, but people are. By the way, it's considered partisan to say things like, you should go to work. Things aren't that bad. You're called a coof denier. Nobody's denying it. It's out there. It'll be out there. It's going to continue to be out there. We still need to live our lives. We still need our purpose. And it is proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that you have a very good chance of being okay. Beyond a very good chance. A more than likely chance you'll be okay. Just about as much as you getting into a car and driving somewhere. It's all political fucking partisan games now. You watch this week's Lower Decks? One word. Me Seeks. I haven't watched it. I don't think I'm going to. It's boring. It's boring. If I'm not going to review it, I don't even give a shit. I honestly just don't give a shit. I'm probably helping the series by reviewing it, so I'd rather not. I'm going to review every episode of Star Trek Discovery. I'll be live and I'll do videos. It'll be just like the old days. I'll do it all. But the cartoon is like nothing. It's the best thing they produced and it's still bad. So, but yeah, as far as, they've always been, Sean, they've always been checking out our live streams. That's what I was told. Especially Star Trek. I can't speak for Disney though. I don't know about that. They probably want to know when people are talking about him though. They probably watch the videos, but the best information again is from the live stream because it's you guys real time. Breadmoth for $5. How did Abrams and Kurtzman make great sci-fi shows called Fringe become so utter garbage at making anything else? Also, have you ever watched Fringe? Yes, I watched Fringe and it was okay. I wouldn't call it great. It really went south in the ending. But it was good. It was good. But Abrams, the first part of Alias was good too. They're television producers. Abrams and Kurtzman are television people who are jumped way beyond their talent level. Samuel Stafford, thank you for the joining at the Jaloja level. Gray Ghost for $2. Hail Gary, approaching Friday Night Tights attendance today. 5K. I did. Yes. Yeah, it was crazy. That was crazy. I was supposed to be on a time limit today. Ooh, shit. Yeah. Okay, we'll get these done. But it was such a fun show. I didn't want to stop. Hey, Gary, did you, by any chance, check out the book series I recommended? We Are Legion, We Are Bob. Great for sci-fi nerddom. I haven't checked it out yet. Jaffo on board for $4.99. It's on my list. I will do my best. I will do my best. Books are not anything I can get into right now. I am reading right now, but I'm kind of trying to get started on Dune. Jonathan Aldridge for £5. Gary, I saw your Star Trek First Frontier. It was a real Star Trek feature film and better than Kurtzman's Trek. I recommend it. It's on YouTube. Jonathan, was that you who messaged it to me on Facebook? I'll check it out. Yakzilla for $4.99. Thank you for the donation. Nothing to say, but thank you for the donation. Sherry DA 2018 BB for $4.99. Found your channel a year ago and have enjoyed your content. Lived in Cali in the early 90s. Had a ball, but so glad that I left in 94. Best of luck. Thank you, Sherry. And yeah, I'm glad you got out of here too. That was a good time to get out of here. You always provide great content. Thank you sincerely. Here is some fuel for your lifestyle. Thank you, Bass Mechanic, for $10. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys entertain the hell out of me. Dwayne Longifer for $5. Thank you for the donation. Look at this. Paula RL for £4.99. You knew it was a matter of time before Hollywood would try to normalize the exploration of children. Thank you, Gary, for not being afraid to speak up, and I won't be. Not on this issue. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Dwayne Longifer for $10. Their explanation is it's a movie pointing out exploitation of young girls. That's like showing a porno with no narrative, over the top explaining how it objectifies women. Exactly. Michael Laparco for $1.99. Contact the Department of Justice. On Scotty Mendelson, maybe. I'd put him on a watch list at this point. Something very similar to Cuties is still on YouTube. Look up 7-year-old single ladies. Remember that controversy? I don't, Zardu. But you know what? Oh, maybe I do. That's still on YouTube? Ooh. YouTube. Thank you, Zardu. Yakzilla for $4.99. I agree with the bro. Cuties is nothing but child bad stuff. And I'm a black person. Thanks for keeping it real, man. You are welcome, and thanks for being here. Yeah, that's not an anything issue. It's a human issue. Sons of Titan for $5. Movie about critiquing exploitation children in movies by exploiting them is sad. Is said movie is sad. What the fuck? Shake my head. That's what he was trying to say. I can't read. The Maxer 03, Mary Ashmead. And Mary Ashmead, thank you for the super stickers. 2 phallic unicorns and a farting dog for 99 cents, $1.49, and $2. Rebecca Gull, Ian, what's up? 50 pounds, LGBTQ, etc. Now wants to include a P. Really? Sigh. If you can see it, normies, speak out. Do not sit on the fence. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Thanks for not being Switzerland, Gary. You rock, geezer. You too, youngster. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Mercenary X21 for $5. If being smart means liking this garbage, I'd rather be stupid for the rest of my life. Seriously, I'm begging God here to help stop this insanity. We really need it to stop. And we need to be fucking outraged and pissed. And enough of this shit. Chris Monroe, welcome to the Jaloja level. Jonathan Aldridge, what about the return to film and entertainment industries that are not only independent, but also national in each country? Ideas can be shared. They can. And I think we should spread it out. I think there should be just local entertainment everywhere now. New conservative movie studio coming. What would a conservative sci-fi show or movie look like according to you? Well, I don't know. I mean, for $7.50, probably Brave New World, right? If you wanted, well, I wouldn't effing know because we haven't seen anything. I wouldn't know. I would guess that it would be considered conservative. It was just a movie at this point. FNP. Peter Slabby for $1.99. Thank you for the donation. Thomas Gooch for $5. Support from Kentucky. Support from Kentucky. Here's $5 for your gas to get at least 20 more miles away from there. Fucking A, right. Thank you, Thomas. And Apex Tyrannus for $10. The age of consent in most of the world is actually between 14 and 16, which is too low in my opinion. Technically, they could do Cuties with even 14-year-olds and defend it in Western areas. No country supports preteen sexualization. No. Kids cannot consent. No Limit Brian for $1.99. Connecticut has ridiculous taxes also, I've heard. I've heard they do. Gary, have you considered Waco, Texas area? Just another red shirt for $4.99. Not yet, but I am open to anything except for a big city. Albert Buchanan for $5. You and I share past experiences. I have heard. No, I'm just kidding. No, you don't want to share past experiences with me. You really don't. Okay. Chris, 35535 for $50. Gary, can you pass on this 50 to anyone who emails you proof they've canceled their Netflix, as long as they spend it on something that brings them joy? I could pass that on. I mean, if you want to prove it anyway, but that's awesome, Chris. That's brilliant. I can do that. We'll think, I'll work that into Friday Night Tights. And I'll get back to you on that one. But thank you. Yes, we will use it for that. We will pass it on to somebody else. Says Count Zaroff for 10 pounds. Completely disagree with Doomcock's rumor. Disney will enforce and continue the woke propaganda big time, even more than before. Recoiling from it now would be a terrible confession of failure, and it would be bending the knee to the right-wing conspiracy. And they are far more worried about that than actually making money right now. They are in a bad way, Disney. Disney has been busted with Mulan. So I promise this. I'm going to finish the show up with this. I'm not going to show their pictures. John Malkovich, his kid got busted rioting in Portland. Greg Rucka, a comic book writer, his kid got caught rioting in New York and damaging property, $100,000 of Starbucks. Not giving a single shit about the people who work there, about our country, about our system. There are ways to peaceful protest that you could do all day long, but going and destroying property when you are the son of a millionaire, not a good look for that millionaire. I'm sure Greg Rucka gave him a little pat in the butt and said, good job, boy, because that's the kind of guy Rucka is. Rucka is a chief architect of SJW Marvel. And an overrated writer. He's called a best-selling comic book writer. His comics have always been preachy, and he's always been preachy. So, of course, he spawns a little preachy kid. But I'm going to keep this on Greg Rucka and John Malkovich. You know what? Be as ignorant as you want. Both of you work in entertainment. Both of you hate the country you work in. Well, I don't know about Malkovich. I get mixed signals, but Rucka, I know, hates the country he works in that allows him to write funny books. You should be thankful just for that this country allows you to hate it and write funny books. But when you start being complicit into the actual destruction of comic shops, of businesses, through your spawn or through yourself or through your donation, Greg, I want to tell you what your kid's got to look forward to if he goes to prison. So for one, this is a federal charge, much harder to fight. You want a state charge or a county charge because that DA will work with you. Federal court is a different fucking story. That means you end up in a federal pen. Now they're a little more comfortable, but here's the drawback. You don't get half time. So what happens if you get convicted? You get convicted, you go to a holding facility where they process you. It's a processing facility. You sit there anywhere from 1 to 4 months. And you're there with everybody. It's level 1 through level 4. And it's fucking gladiator school. It is fucking gladiator school. While they process you. While you sit and think about starting your sentence. So you sit in this processing center, which is gladiator school, the worst of the worst. It's not even your final destination. Then you get sent to some prison, which is in the middle of nowhere. So it doesn't even matter if you try to escape. You ain't getting anywhere. And your days are filled with boredom, occasionally interrupted with sheer terror. Your son will get in a fight. There's nothing he can do to avoid it. You will get in a fight and he will have to fight. And if he doesn't fight, he will become somebody's bitch. And that you really Don't want that. Or maybe he likes that kind of thing. Not sure. He will be in a riot. He will be lonely. He will spend his days in a low-level depression every single day. And it happens to every inmate, usually within the first year, especially if they haven't been in long enough, you start to go a little crazy because of the confinement. You start losing your shit. And inmates have been anorexic. They have started cutting themselves. They find drugs, which you can find. And that is the breaking point. If you can get past that without getting hooked on drugs, cutting yourself, being anorexic, all the shit I've seen, you're fine. And then there's also the healthcare, which is horrific. If you get sick, like I did, I got a viral stomach infection, which I lost a lot of weight to the point where they thought I had fucking AIDS. They gave me an AIDS test. I didn't have AIDS. And I was like, well, maybe. I mean, I slept around with a lot of girls, but I never shot any drugs up or anything. So I had just a bad stomach thing. Lost 40 pounds. I looked like I was in Auschwitz. And it's something that would have gotten taken care of overnight in a regular hospital. But I sat there in hospital beds getting freaking IVs fed to me. I was losing consciousness. It was weird. It was fucking a whole ordeal. I thought I was going to die in prison. Good thing I didn't. So there's that to look forward to. And again, you can't avoid fights. You can't avoid drama. He will be in a riot. There's nothing more fun than a prison riot, by the way. And they happen like that, by the way. That's the one lesson I was taught in life being in a prison riot is I was eating my lunch, sitting there eating my lunch, talking to some guy. And then like the next second, as I'm about to eat some macaroni and cheese, he's got a pencil sticking in his neck with like Monty Python blood spurting out all over my fucking meal and me. And all of a sudden dudes are trying to kill each other. And I'm like, I was just eating lunch like 2 seconds ago. What the fuck is this? And rubber bullets. And then the rubber bullets get followed by the real bullets and everybody hits the ground. Yeah, that shit. So chances are your son will either get addicted to drugs or start gambling or hook up with a gang, maybe even an Aryan gang. Because, I mean, those are your great white protectors in there. That's where the real Nazis are, by the way. They're there. Or he'll find other ways to procure stuff. There are things on your body that you can use for barter. Maybe he uses that. I don't know. The one thing it's not set up for is rehabilitation. It's not set up for that. Guards can be assholes. They can be cool. You are a number. You are nothing to them. If you die in their care, they don't care. You'll get to visit him once in a while. He will not have any physical contact with any human beings other than in prison if he likes that kind of thing. But other than that, he's not going to have it. And you don't get in federal prison, you don't get half time off. In state prisons, you get for good behavior. If you get a 4-year sentence, you get to go home in 2, a little over 2. In federal prison, big difference. Big difference. You do almost all your time. And that's what he's facing. Chances are very good. He will get injured in some way. He will get fucked with. Imagine the worst high school in the world. Imagine a place where all the term you use, where all the bullies go. That's where he's going. So unless he starts working out, looks like Bill and Ted at the end of Bill and Ted 3. And I saw a picture of him. He's got a pretty mouth. He's got long hair. Yeah, he'd be very popular in there. So you might not want your kids to go and destroy other people's businesses and their livelihoods because you have a lot of time in your hands because you draw funny books and watch fucking CNN all day. Wake the fuck up, dude. And Malkovich, kids going for the same thing. And it's a place where people usually end back up in. More people end back up in prison than leave it for good. The rate of recidivism is insane. Is it a class thing? Of course. So maybe these kids will be all right because they got rich daddies and they can afford they can afford expensive lawyers. I couldn't. But I did my time. I got out and I didn't go back. And I wanted to change my life. And I realized that gratitude is the thing. And I would remember that obviously your kid isn't grateful because his dad writes little funny books and he wants to go and break shit. I'd be fucking happy as fuck. My dad writes comic books. That is the coolest thing ever. But instead, you guys wallowed in your anger and you're miserable. And that's what makes you want to go out and break shit. It's got nothing to do with the orange man or this system or how this system treats people. You're fucking liars. You're just miserable people. And you shouldn't be. You should be fucking thanking whatever God you pray to every day that you write fucking funny books in a country that allows you to hate it. Talk about entitlement. Oh, and your son being a millionaire, yeah, or you being a millionaire or popular, that will just make your son a target. He'll probably have to go into protective custody, which will put him with the Fredos. That's what he's got to look forward to. Okay, I'll read a couple more super chats and I got to get out of here. It's a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. It's meant to be a nightmare. It's meant to be a miserable fucking place. Now, if you work your ass off, yeah, there are jobs you can go to and you can learn stuff. I mean, the schools are kind of behind and everything, but you can like finish your high school diploma. You can get a vocational skill. Again, they're a little behind, but it is possible. Most people don't. Most people just sit on their ass and do their time. I took a job. Where I got a whopping $1 a day. $1 a day. Yes, there is cheap labor in there, but it's optional. It's not forced. It's like, hey, you can make a little money while you're doing your time and it gives you something to do. Fuck yeah, I was happy to do it. Now you get $1 an hour if you're fighting a fire. A whole $1 an hour and a steak dinner afterwards. That's all the only thing I cared about. Is I would go fight a fire for 8 to 10 hours, practically die for steak. That's how bad it was. Mr. Tickle Trunk for 5 Canadian pesos. I missed the actual diverse and thoughtful Star Trek. The updated for modern times tokenized Star Trek contextualized my inner Padawan. It really did, Mr. Tickle Trunk. It's a bunch of fucking shit. And they don't even get their history right. What do you think has been the wokest episode of TV sci-fi recently? My vote, Reality Bites, Supergirl 5, or Doctor Who Trump episode. Ooh, it has to be the final episode of Watchmen was the wokest fucking shit I have ever seen. New Doom preview, The Expanse, Shock 2957, not for $9.99. I'm not sure what you're asking. Is it like The Expanse? I thought the new Dune trailer looked pretty good, but I'm not a super Dune fan. I might be after the movie, but Paul looks like a girl, kind of. Red Monarch, thank you for the 99 cents. But apparently he's supposed to be that way in the book. Still hope you watch old shows like Babylon 5, 5 Reasons of Amazing Sci-Fi, some relevant to today's situation, just like Blake 7. Episode reviews from you and guests would make my year, says Mr. Tickle Trunk for 10 Canadian pesos. Once this studio is fixed, I'm going to daily entertainment, folks. Like every single day. Now, I've got to pump up my video production a little bit. We've had a really fucking good month. It's been a really good month on this channel, and I want to keep it going. But we are going to daily entertainment here. And some of the live streams won't go for 4 hours, but you're going to get something every day. Going to be making some changes to Patreon. The memberships are still a thing. I do believe if I have time, if I can finish my video today, I will do a member stream tonight. I'm not sure though. That's why I haven't posted it. I've got to get a video done. I was going to do cuties, but now I'm like, I've kind of got my fucking yayas out. I'm not sure. I think the time has passed, but we'll see. Jonathan Aldrich, thank you for the £5. What's a P in the alphabet community? What's a P in the alphabet community? Oh, well, what do you think, Jonathan? It is a Fredo. Cuties needs to be cooked on your grill. Support. Thanks, Mary Ashby, for $2. And for $20, can't wait for Friday Night Tights tomorrow. It feels like if you feel like reading, Vindictive Apocalypse is on Kindle. Good movies, books, and series will fill the gaps eventually. See a need, fill a need. We need good entertainment to return. Eric Bailey, thank you for the $20, and you are not wrong. 2020 is going to be okay. Rick Moranis has been in front of the camera again. Oh, well, he's coming back. 2020 is going to be okay, folks. We're alive. Well said, Gary. Thanks for the raw honesty and best of luck with the ongoing move. Keep being the oasis of common sense, denouncing insanity. Thank you again, Count Zara, for $5. I don't think I hit. Oh, by the way, I'm going to say it out loud. I missed a super chat, a couple super chats. They're all going to be in the square up tomorrow morning. Shout out to Drunk 3PO. And Drunk 3PO, like he'll know that I said this. Like every time somebody shouts him out, he like makes a point of it. He didn't watch my video. Drunk 3PO did not watch my video. Because if he did, he would have heard me shout him out at the end. He's busted. Busted. So busted. Did you hear Q is going to appear on Lower Decks episode? No! He is not down with this. Fuck Lower Decks, Nicholas Horton, for £5. But thanks for letting me know. Nicholas Horton is like a good source of information, man. Keeps me on. Red Monarch, thank you for the 100% super sticker. And I cussed Star Wars Theory and called him disingenuous on his Daisy Ridley vid. Did I go too far? Look for my comment when you have time, Gary. Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll just look at the meme, Max Santiago. Star Wars Theory called out the Fandom Menace. Star Wars Theory was nice right around when his movie was getting funded. And then after his movie got funded, he's all, well, I'm talking to Lucasfilm, so I can't talk to you, which is fine. Just come out and say it. But teaming up with Collider and stuff like that, go ahead. It's fine. I wouldn't hitch my wagon to Star Wars. I tell you, my Star Wars video, that could be my last Star Wars video. I'm fucking done with it. I don't care. I like Cara Dune. That's the only thing I like is Cara Dune because Gina Carano fucking rules. That's all. They're not erasing. Listen, I love Doomcock. He's my co-host on Inquisition. And I know I know who his people, a couple of his people may be, as far as sources are concerned. And I know he's getting sources. I just don't believe it. I don't believe they will erase the Disney trilogy. I don't believe they will de-woke Disney. And all you have to do is look at their actions. Forget what they say. Look at their actions. Look at fucking Hollywood right now. If Disney fired SJWs, they wouldn't hear the end of it. It would be Disney is over party, cancel it. And that's what they're afraid of. And the thing is, it would happen for a few days and then it would end. So I think they should do it and they'd be fine. But they're so scared of the backlash of the blue check marks. Stetson Gold, these people are insufferable whilst I'm in the entertain. Oh, I already read. That's way long time ago. Never mind. There it is. 8-inch Migo Hulk for Australian $7.99. I have read Dune and really like the story and concepts. The movie seems to honor the source material. I remain excited. Original Dune isn't woke. I heard it's kind of woke. Oh, kind of feminist. We'll see. Q should have fixed Picard, says Mr. DeMarc. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. All right. I've really got to go. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Pamela Lynch, good luck on your move. I hope you and your family settle somewhere soon. Glad you're all out of San Francisco. The pics coming out of there are pretty scary. Yeah, Pamela Lynn. Maybe Friday I'll show what my son sent to me. Thank you for the $15. I know I missed Super Chats. I will make them up in the Super Chat score up. I do apologize. Thank you all for joining me. We had almost 5,000 people watching, which was crazy today, but I do have to get out. And I can't believe I'm probably ghosted now, but I can't believe this one. My last live stream got ghosted, and I can't believe the majority of this one didn't. Lady Gravemaster is the producer. Perry Chan makes the clips. Eric K was the great wrench today. I would call him the head wrench. Chris Purges is the Canadian wrench. Mary Ashmead was here. And Mark Lizeth was probably back there somewhere. Nyla Shadow wrenches once in a while. Jake D is a wrench. Quarter Black Garrett, what's up, buddy? Daily entertainment, buddy. Daily. Sheila Allen is here. What's up, Sheila? How's it going? Thank you all to the Thank you to the Modrotics. Thank you everyone who super chatted. You keep the lights on around here. You keep things going. We will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, with Mahler and Rags, 2 p.m.-ish. So, y'all, be good to each other. And, hang on. I got to make sure something didn't come in last minute. Always the last minute. Okay, good. You all be good to each other. And remember, not all who wander are lost.
Nerderotic.com